inventory hole?
What? What? No! What the? No!
Lost it a while ago. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Madden Mobile, a game that once dominated app stores, bringing in millions of dollars per year. Now, the game's just a ghost town. But how did it end up like this? Join me as we look into the rise and fall of Madden Mobile and figure out just where it all went wrong. Now, before we get into the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. This video took me over 3 months to make, so I'd appreciate any support. Now let's get into part 1. EA's first attempt at a mobile card collecting game came out November 1st, 2012, with Madden 13 Social. This game introduced core features to the series like the auction house and head-to-head drives, which both would become staples to future Madden mobiles. Now, there isn't much to say about this game because it wasn't a great game. It was littered with pop-up ads everywhere, the gameplay was buggy, there weren't many promos, card art, and the game was just laggy. Overall, this game didn't offer anything of value, and it was just there for EA to advertise their other games. This game wasn't popular, and for good reason.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Although Madden 13 Social wasn't a success, EA came back again a year later on August 27, 2013 and dropped a new and improved game, Madden NFL Mobile 25. Now EA really outdid themselves on this one. The whole game was a vast improvement over 13. They added actual promos, updated the card arts and graphics, and got rid of those annoying pop-up ads that littered 13. Overall, they made this more like an actual Madden game instead of whatever Madden 13 Social was trying to be. Now content-wise, Madden Mobile 25 was a huge step up over 13, which had basically nothing in it. Solo challenges, season mode, and sets all got added and would become staples in future Madden mobiles. The auction house was also greatly improved since Social, and the new promos allowed for more diverse team building. Now I personally didn't play this Madden Mobile, but from what I heard from my friends in the community that did play it was that it was one of the best Madden mobiles of all time. But it's EA we're talking about here, so of course it's going to have its flaws. It costed coins to use plays in game, the physics and animations were shaky, and there didn't seem to be a ton of promos throughout the year. Plus, the card art was lackluster. Madden Mobile 25 laid out the blueprint that the next few Madden mobiles would greatly build upon, which would lead to some of the best mobile gaming experiences of all time in my opinion. August 26th, 2014, a day that changed history. Sort of. One of my favorite mobile games of all time, Madden Mobile 15, was released. This game was the start of something amazing, and it was just everywhere. It had a whole generation of kids hooked. If you asked anyone who played Madden Mobile 15 what their favorite part of the game was, 9 times out of 10 they would either say the packs or the auction house. The feeling of opening a pack with your last 7,500 coins and actually getting an elite was unmatched. The auction house was probably one of the most fun aspects of Madden Mobile 15. Whether you were trying to snipe or just opening packs and hoping for the best, there was something for you. I remember times I would go on the auction house just to look at all those cool cards I couldn't afford and wonder, how do people have that many coins? I mean, seeing cards get sold for 99 million was just insane to me. The sets in this game were really underrated. There was such a variety of sets that you'd never get bored. You'd always have something to grind for. If you felt like gambling, get enough trophies and then do the Football Outsiders Team of the Week or large quick sell sets. Like I said earlier, this game had something to grind for all the time. I remember in 7th grade waking up at 6 a.m. to check the new live events for the day and always grinding those domination ones to get that 99 Richard Sherman. With the addition of live events like Game Changers, Road to the Ring, and so many more, it allowed the user so much more variety in what they could do with their time. I believe that Madden Mobile 15 had some of the best promos of all time. I mean, the content that we got throughout the year was just amazing, and I loved those promos that gave you a pack like the Cornucopia or Snowman sets instead of a guaranteed card. Having to hope you'd get the Bo Jackson instead of the Jack Lambert made it so much more fun. I could sit here and talk all day about Madden Mobile 15 promos, but just know it was an amazing year filled with some of the most fun packs you could ask for. This game also had some of the rarest promo cards of all time. I mean, BCA, Most Feared, NFL Top 10, those all had some of the rarest cards of all time in them. I remember there being a Mike Iupati card that was only known to be on one team. I mean, think about it. This game probably had millions upon millions of players, and only one person had this card. Do you know how insane that sounds? Now, Madden Mobile 15 started off as just a team building type game, with a little bit of head-to-head thrown in there if you'd like. Now, something I really enjoyed about this game was that you didn't need an amazing team to compete. There were so many budget options that were staples in the community, like Dree Archer. You could build your team in any way you wanted, and it really didn't matter. Being able to beat a 99 overall team with a budget squad was so fun, and I think it's something that's really missing from the newer games. Now, later on in the year, EA introduced something that would completely change the game, League versus League. I remember watching the initial live stream when they first announced it, and boy was the community excited. It wasn't super polished at release, but it allowed the game to have a sense of community, and now you were able to play with your friends and try to grind the leaderboards. Now, it wouldn't be a Madden Mobile video if we didn't talk about the glitches. One of the best parts about this game was all the glitches that it had. I mean, the game was filled with them everywhere. Madden Mobile's most iconic glitch of them all had to be the coin glitch. This glitch had people getting billions of coins and turned the game's economy upside down. I mean, the rarest cards in the game would get sold for 99 million coins instantly. In some cases, the super rare ones would get sold for over 400 million through Instagram deals. I want to be fair to the other games, so I'm not just going to sit here and list off the great things about Madden Mobile 15 without talking about some of the downsides, such as cards being locked behind insanely expensive bundles. I mean, those signature series and flashback cards were locked behind 10,000 Madden cash bundles. Who was going to pay $100 to open that bundle? Not me. The gameplay was pretty mid. There was no scramble button, QB sneak was OP, and it was pretty easy to cheat in head-to-head drives. The game was insanely laggy at times, especially in sets. You remember having to scroll all the way through all your trophies to get to your gold trophies when you're trying to do a large quick sell or something? Oh my god, how much time would we have saved with an autofill button back then? Anyway, the overall quality of life wasn't great. The gameplay wasn't all that much fun either. The game was pretty buggy at times, and a lot of the cool promos that Madden console got, like golden tickets, did not come to mobile. Before we move on to Madden Mobile 16, I want to talk about the Instagram community. This is when the Madden Mobile Instagram community really started to become a thing. It was pretty small at first, but throughout the year I remember accounts growing to thousands of followers. I believe that the Instagram community was something that really helped Madden Mobile grow to new heights, and during this time on Instagram, the most popular posts were snipes, custom card art, and give or snipe aways. Now, if you played Madden Mobile, you know what botting is. Botting's origins date back all the way to Madden Mobile 15, and I remember how frowned upon it was by the community. Botting and coin selling were issues that would lead to the eventual removal of the auction house, which completely ruined the game.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
What's often regarded as the greatest Madden Mobile ever, Madden Mobile 16 was EA's magnum opus. This game came out when EA was at its peak for mobile gaming. This game was basically Madden Mobile 15, but better. They revamped the card art, added a few new promos, made improvements to the gameplay, and improved the overall quality of life, to an extent. This game was still as glitchy as ever, and it didn't take long for the auction house to glitch and for millions of coins to flood the market. Madden Mobile is a game that relies on good promos to keep the players engaged. And Madden Mobile 16 had some of the uniquest promos in Madden Mobile history, and I'm going to talk about some of the most unique ones throughout the year. This Madden Mobile added League vs. League cards. These were all 99 overall cards that gave you boost to your awareness. League vs. League allowed for leagues to grind for some of the best cards in the game together. The grind for the 99 Rice, Emmett, and Hester was unreal. And believe it or not, I was in one of the first leagues to get those cards. Now, it was such a grind, but it actually made playing the game worth it, with those difficult challenges of passing for 1,000,000 yards, rushing for 750,000, and winning 2,500 season games. The grind for these League vs. League cards made Madden Mobile that much more competitive. I mean, I remember how many people in the community were talking about these cards when they first got added, and this made it so that many leagues competed to see who would be the first to get them. Now, before this, Madden Mobile wasn't super competitive. Sure, the League vs. League leaderboards were fun to grind, but there wasn't anything to compete for. The addition of these cards made so many more leagues become competitive, which added so much more to just a card collecting game. Now, those League vs. League cards didn't stop with the 99s. This game had so many unique and interesting other League vs. League cards that were great at the start of the game. Now, a reoccurring theme in Madden Mobile was that the cover athlete would get a 99 overall master card, but it was always an insane grind to get. Now, in Madden Mobile 15, this was Richard Sherman, and he was the domination master. And his card was insane because it was a 99 overall, but more importantly, it gave a +5 awareness boost to his whole team, which was the best stat to boost if you wanted to get an insane overall team. Now, that +5 awareness boost sounds great on paper, but the grind to get him was insanely tedious due to it being purely luck-based. I mean, having to beat the domination live events were hard enough, but then having to hope you would get the right collectible? Yeah, good luck on that one. I mean, it made it such a frustrating grind, and that's something they thankfully changed for Madden Mobile 16. I mean, the OBJ MasterCard was just amazing. The card art was beautiful, plus it gave both +5 awareness and catching, and the grind to get it was actually pretty fun. Instead of just having to hope that you would get the right collectible from a live event, now you actually had to complete achievements in different aspects of the game. I mean, this grind had you winning 10 Super Bowls, completing hundreds of live events, sets, and then also winning enough league versus league matches made it so that getting this card had you experience all the different aspects this game had to offer. And even though it was pretty difficult, it wasn't anywhere as annoying of a grind as the Madden Mobile 15 Richard Sherman was. I mean, this OBJ card was one of the most fun cards to play with and one of the best cards throughout the whole year. Something that the new Madden Mobile misses is the grind. I mean, the grind in these games was actually fun and it felt rewarding. Nowadays, you just auto-complete sets, auto-complete live events, and you just go on with your day. I mean, being able to auto-play live events is nice, but there's no incentive to actually play the game anymore. Thanksgiving in Madden Mobile was always a huge promo, but I think that Black Friday was always the better of the two. I mean, this promo always added so many fun, limited time sets and players that always made the game come alive during all hours of the night. People were staying up all night since this promo had sets refreshing all throughout the night. You'd never know what the next set would be, and that's something that made this promo so great. I mean, Black Friday was always one of the best promos of the year because of how unique it was and how much variety it provided. Not knowing what could be next, what the next pack might be, what the next set might be, was something that made this promo so much fun. Since it was the 50th Super Bowl, EA went all out for the Super Bowl legends during Madden Mobile 16. I mean, I remember how insane all the cards were for this promo, with the Super Bowl legends having some of the coolest card art in Madden Mobile history. I mean, that gold and gray color scheme just made them look so beautiful. Plus, when these cards released, they were some of the highest overalls in the game, and they also gave a +1 boost to your whole team. And if you don't know, that was huge back in the day. Those boosts made it so that people could have insane overall teams. Now, Madden Mobile 16 was the first to include a lot of promos for Madden Ultimate Team, with golden tickets being one of them. And these were some of the most insane cards in the whole game. I mean, these cards were juiced with 100+ stats everywhere and had some of the best card art in the whole game. The whole community loved golden tickets, and I remember opening so many pro packs just hoping to pull one, even though I never did. Even though golden tickets were so loved, I personally believe that they also could have been a factor in the game turning into what it is now, with the 400+ overall cards. I think that since these insanely juiced cards like golden tickets were so popular in the community, it gave EA the idea that people liked insane stats and wanted to see cards that got over 400 overall, which nobody likes. I'm not sure what killed the game more, the auction house being removed or the overalls being inflated to 400+. Now, I want to talk about how we got some glimpses of how EA would ruin the game. Now, these old Madden Mobiles, granted that they were amazing games and were so fun to play, they did have their problems, and also EA was showing signs of how they would eventually kill their game. First, glitches were always some of the most fun aspects of Madden Mobile, and once EA started to get serious about stopping glitches, it took some of the fun out. I mean, I remember in Madden Mobile 16, there was an auction house glitch where everything would get sold for 99 million coins, and EA was so quick to revert this and take away everybody's coins, everybody's cards. Granted, some people made out with millions from it because they figured out a way to keep their coins, but overall, EA being a lot stricter on glitches just took out a lot of the fun that the game had. They also included a lot more NAT cards, which are non-auctionable, and I remember during Most Feared, they gave out a free gold card to everybody that was auctionable at first, but after people were selling it, they changed it to NAT, which showed how EA could do whatever they wanted and had the power to completely ruin this game. People weren't playing Madden Mobile because they enjoyed the gameplay. They were playing because they enjoyed collecting cool and rare cards to show off to their friends. I mean, Madden Mobile is at its best when it doesn't take itself seriously and embraces that, which is exactly what they did this year. They had so many fun and unique promos, superlatives, league versus league cards, golden tickets, road to the playoff signatures, all rookie, and more that I'm probably forgetting about, honestly. The truth is, Madden Mobile 15 and 16 had this magic to them that future iterations would just fail to capture.
Someone cooked here.
Madden Mobile 17 and 18 were alright games, it's just tough to live up to the massive expectations set by 15 and 16. These games were pretty hated on by the community at the time. Everybody was begging for Madden Mobile 15 or 16 back during these games, and I believe that this was the beginning of the downfall. Looking back at it with what we know now, these games are 1,000 times better than the new slop EA is putting out yearly. The direction that EA took with these games showed that they really didn't know what they were doing. They weren't listening to the community at all, and I mean, are we surprised? Now, Madden Mobile 17 was a solid game, but to me it wasn't anything special. This game did have a lot of bright spots, such as the Easter, Draft, and Pro Bowl promos, but those alone couldn't carry the game, as it fell short in a lot of different places. The gameplay was pretty bad like normal, and overall, the experience throughout the year was just not great. But like I said earlier, the community were not really fans of this game, which is the case for a lot of Madden Mobiles if we're being honest. It felt like at the time EA wasn't really trying to innovate the game. I mean, they added the scramble button in a tournament mode, I think, but other than that, they didn't add anything. A lot of the promos throughout the year felt like they were just copy and pasted. So many cards were non-auctionable. The M series was a cool concept, but it was horribly executed. And overall, the whole Madden Mobile community was just starting to slowly die down at this time. Now, I'm not saying that this game wasn't fun or anything. They just weren't amazing. I know if we look back on these games knowing what Madden Mobile has become, it'll make us think that they were better than they were. But I was still an active member in the Madden Mobile community at this time, and this game was not well received at all. Everybody was clamoring for Madden Mobile 16 back, and rightfully so. That was the GOAT game. EA finally took some risk with Madden Mobile 18, adding new game modes like Draft Champions and Weekend Tournaments, only to never implement them again. I will say that those two game modes were some of the most fun I had in Madden Mobile ever. This game had a really solid start to the year, but by New Year's, the overalls were getting out of hand and it just started to go downhill with all the training in my opinion. Now, I want to talk about EA finally attempting to combat coin selling and doing it in the worst way possible. You see, instead of actually working and attempting to fight botting and coin selling, you want to know what EA did instead? Made a bot control the whole thing. Yep, just got rid of the player-controlled auction house, which was a huge part of the game. This ruined it for so many people, myself included. Now, this made it so you could only sell cards for what EA thought they were worth, and it ruined sniping. They also randomly added a cap on the amount of packs you could open daily. I mean, what? Did they not want people to play their game? Did they think people played Madden Mobile because it was Madden on your phone? They didn't. They played it because they liked football. Now, we didn't know it at the time, but a lot of these decisions that seemed crazy was just EA's way of getting us prepared for what they were going to do in the future.
Oh, man. You're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it.
I believe Madden Mobile's true fall off started over 5 years ago with the introduction of Madden Overdrive. This was the beginning of the end, the true downfall of Madden Mobile. This game completely flipped what the Madden Mobile franchise was. I mean, this game was just downright awful. The gameplay was absolutely terrible, and the game modes were even worse. Overdrive was just a steaming hot pile of garbage. And I mean, since EA is, well, EA, they decided to go full 1984 on us and take control over the whole auction house. Cards had a set range that they would sell for, and unless EA said otherwise, you couldn't do anything about it. That was the true dagger to the heart of Madden Mobile. I mean, the auction house being removed was responsible for so many people quitting this game. It was a core feature that everybody loved, and for them just to take it away made no sense to me. No more sniping, card flipping, nothing. This combined with the fact that there was nothing appealing about Overdrive at all made this game die fast. This honestly might be the most hated Madden Mobile of all time. It was just downright awful. EA also introduced Power, which basically made it impossible for anyone to run a budget squad and just made it easier for whales to get even more of an advantage. The only redeeming qualities about this game was the UI and graphical improvements. That's it. This game was downright atrocious. Madden Mobile 20 was an improvement over Overdrive. But I mean, how hard was that? All they had to do was be better than a steaming hot pile of trash. And it still wasn't great. They added back season modes, which they took away in Overdrive, which made no sense to me. They also changed the card borders this year, and it doesn't really replicate the old Madden Mobile feeling, which shows how much the game's changed over the years. I mean, overall, Madden Mobile 20 felt like a step in the right direction. The auction house was still bot controlled, but it wasn't as bad as Overdrive. Now, this game started off the year really good, and it wasn't until the introduction of Madden Max when this game started to get really bad. Now, if you don't know what Madden Max is, Madden Max made it so every new player in promos was a 105 overall, and had 99 stats all across the board. Yep, linemen had 99 speed, receivers had 99 strength, you name it, they had it. It was stupid. This completely ruined the game for myself and made basically every single non-Madden Max card irrelevant. Overall, Madden Mobile 20 was the best game in a while for EA, but it would continue to go downhill after. Madden Mobile 21. Man, what an awful game. This was the most pay-to-win Madden Mobile in history with the introduction of Field Passes, which is basically a battle pass but for Madden Mobile. There is nothing good in the sets at all. League vs. League had nothing new in it for like the 8th year in a row. I mean, this game was just awful. I mean, at least this game still had the bot-controlled auction house, which I guess was a good thing, but an issue with this is that it makes any card that's not one of the best in the game obsolete. Back in the early days of Madden Mobile, there were silver and gold cards that would sell for a lot because of the sets they were in. This made opening packs so much more fun because you didn't just need to pull a 99 overall to be able to make coins. You could pull an 84 or whatever. I mean, I could just go on and on about how bad this game was. It was practically a worse version of Madden Mobile 20, but more pay to win. I mean, this game had nothing memorable in it at all. Back in the old Madden Mobiles, there were at least 3 to 4 iconic promos that you couldn't forget. I couldn't even tell you one card from this game. One. Now, I will give EA some credit here and say that the card art was pretty great this year, but that's it. This game had no other redeeming qualities about it, and it shows how much lazier EA has gotten over the years. Now, this would be the part of the video where I go into Madden Mobile 22 and talk about that by itself, but these last 3 Madden Mobiles were so bad, so copy-paste, that I just made them into one section. I mean, I'm not going to waste your time here. These games were so bad that they don't deserve to be discussed individually. Now, Madden Mobile 22 is when EA decided to make a whole new app because they wanted to reset everyone's Madden cash. No, I'm serious. Due to the introduction of those new field passes, players were keeping their Madden cash from year to year, so EA being EA, they decided that they would just reset everyone. A huge issue with these games for me was the introduction of 400 overall players. Yeah, you heard that right, 400. In my opinion, this was done in an attempt to keep the whales that funded the game happy, because it let them be the highest overalls at any given time. You would never be able to catch up to them. With Madden Mobile 22 seeing the death of the auction house, EA also decided that they didn't have to put full rosters in the game anymore. And I'm not talking just some undrafted rookie. No, it would be your starters, your whole offensive line. You wanted to build a theme team? Nope. Impossible. You had to wait until they dropped cards for your team. I mean, how hard is it to add a whole team? This was done in Madden Mobile 15, but it can't be done now. It's ridiculous how little EA cares about their game and how much they just care about money. This shows how disconnected from the community EA has been for years and years, and I don't think they'll ever fix this game. I loved Madden Mobile. It was one of my favorite games of all time, and to see what it's become, it's just sickening, honestly. Like, seeing one of your favorite games become a complete money grab, it's just sad to see because Madden Mobile 15, 16, even 17 were great games. Now, EA continued to think that they knew better than their fan base and continued to drive this game into the ground. The games all feel so empty. There's nothing to truly grind for. The pack odds are awful. I mean, you get like a 75 overall player in the pro packs. It's insane. All the promos are literally copy and paste where you trade in uncommons for rares, rares for epics, and epics for iconics. I mean, where's the innovation? Where's the fun? These games just feel like a deserted wasteland now, and it's honestly sad to see. This game had such a strong community at its peak, but all EA could care about was maximizing their profits, even if it's at the expense of their own game.
Y'all are trash. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are trash.
Early Madden Mobile was one of the greatest mobile games of all time. I mean, this was a mobile game pulling in millions of dollars, and now they struggle to even hit 10K. I mean, it's sad to see, but it's not surprising because EA's greed has once again ruined something that was once great. Now, I still believe that Madden Mobile has a chance to succeed again, but that's only if they revert back to their roots. I mean, Madden Mobile 15 and 16 were peak, and the community surrounding those games were amazing. There's so many interesting and unique stories from these years, and it's truly a shame that these old games and communities are practically lost media at this point.